Hello, what's happening? Matt, aka Lethal Frag here. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I'm not enjoying in Modern Warfare 3. We already did a commentary on what I think they did really well, and they definitely did a lot of things well, but there's certainly things I don't like about this game, and I think everybody has things they don't like about every game, but I'm just going to point out a few things that I think maybe are a little bit flawed or, are a little different and I'm not enjoying. I'm going to do the first one is map size. I don't feel that there's that much variation on the maps. I haven't ran into a map yet that I couldn't run around for a few minutes and figure out the entire layout of the map, kind of how it worked. Everything seems really small, compact. And I mean, the benefit of that is it makes it for really high action, but doesn't suit my style of play very well, which is really a personal thing. But it's nice to have variety on maps. And it doesn't really seem like it matters what map you play, they're all kind of the same. Which I don't particularly enjoy. It doesn't seem like it's enough variety. A lot of the maps feel the same because they're right around the same size, while they have, different buildings and angles and things like that. Just all being the same size is not always a great thing. Another thing I'm not enjoying that much is bullet damage. It seems like it's really easy to die, really easy to get killed. Which, I mean, in a high-paced action shooter it's okay, but it seems a little bit easy, especially compared to previous Call of Duties. Like, it seems like sometimes 2 or 3 bullets and you're dead. And that's kind of the point of playing hardcore for me, would be to have that sense of realism in getting kills. Whereas playing core is a little more arcadey. That's kind of what I enjoy. And it seemed to kind of lose that a little bit with the bullet damage. The bullet damage seems pretty intense. But hey, maybe that's just me. I haven't tried out all the guns yet, and I've seen that most people are using, the same couple guns. The M4A1 seems really popular, and of course the UMP45. Which brings me to my next point, is gun balance. It seems a little bit off. I always find it interesting in first-person shooters. There always seems to be one gun that stands out. It's the UMP45 right now. But I'd really like to see a first-person shooter come out where there isn't a dominant gun. Obviously in Black Ops it was the FAMAS forever, and even after it was nerfed it was still the FAMAS. It was clearly the best gun in Black Ops, without question, just due to accuracy. And just the way it worked, the way it killed people. And what I've noticed on Modern Warfare 3 guns is you're much better off going for a gun with a faster fire rate in this game, because the slower guns with more bullet damage, it feels like to me anyways, that it's the exact same amount of bullets to kill somebody with that gun than it is any other gun. I don't necessarily agree with that. But every time I've tried to put on a slower firing gun, I had massive problems killing people. This includes 3-round bursts, although I've had a few good games with the Type 95. It just didn't seem quite right to me. Something about this game just didn't grab me right away, and of course I'm going to keep giving it a chance. I'm going to keep producing content, I'm going to keep playing the game, and I'm going to enjoy it. But all the previous other Call of Duties, really grabbed me when I started. All I wanted to do was play them. It's all I could think about. And after my end of my 12-hour session, I said, meh. It's good. It's fun. It's a great game. But it wasn't quite what I'm looking for. I know it's totally a personal opinion, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the way they designed the game. It just didn't grab me the way that other Call of Duties have. But that being said, I'm gonna play the hell out of it and have a good time doing it. I just found that interesting that this one didn't quite get me the way the other ones did. And let's talk about perks real quick. I think they did a pretty good job with perk balance, but there is one perk in particular that seems like it's so dominant over the others, and that's Stalker, specifically Stalker Pro. And what Stalker does is it makes you move faster while aiming down sight. And while this seems like a great idea for a perk, any first-person shooter veteran knows that that is the biggest perk that you could ever have, being able to move faster while aiming down sight. And the reason for this is that all the good Call of Duty players, if you watch video, what they do when they aim down sight is they jiggle back and forth. And the faster you do that, the harder it is for the enemy to hit you. So, I really don't see myself using any other perk than that. It's kind of like the new stopping power for me. it's kind of a must-use. I'm not going to be able to get away from that unless I maybe use steady aim. That'd be the only way if I was running gunning in Dom or something and I put on steady aim. Would be the only reason I would ever get rid of that perk, because simply it's so good. It's amazingly good, and it's really hard to get away from that. I couldn't see myself taking it off after putting it on. I put it on and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. This is definitely the perk I'm going to use. But at the same time, that kind of kills the entire, perk tier for me. I'm going to talk about one more thing. It's not that I'm unhappy with it, I'm just not sure if it works or not, and that's the kill streak setup, the point streak setup. It's different for Team Deathmatch and Dom, whether it's a kill streak or a point streak. But it feels to me, after playing for a whole night, that there's no reason that you wouldn't use the support tree. And the main reason for that being is you don't lose your kill streak when you die. And there are still good killing kill streaks in that tier. And if you're a good player and you can average 20 kills a game, there's no reason not to use support, because you're going to be getting those kill streaks regardless of what you do. Here I'm using Assault. I used it for a few games, but it's like, okay, well, I can get 7 kills in a row. I have no problem doing that on using Assault. But it's like, oh, or I can run around like a madman and get 25 kills in a game and still get my kill streaks, still get my Stealth Bomber, which is essentially a B-52, and there's nothing to stop you from doing that other than not getting kills. I haven't messed around with Specialists too much. I can definitely see that being a benefit in objective games, especially Dom. Essentially, if you get 6 kills in a row, you have 6 perks on at once, which is pretty crazy to think about. It's kind of like making a class. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like playing a wager match, really. I mean, having 6 perks on at once is a huge benefit, but at that point you have no lethal kill streaks. You're not calling in UAVs for your team or anything. So I don't think it's really the best option, but in a team setting, in a situational setting, I can see that being beneficial if you had, like a designated flag runner or whatever. Having one guy that had 6 perks on at all times would be very beneficial to your team. I'm just not sure if they didn't give it too much customization, if there's not too many options to make it balanced, if that unbalances the game. And I honestly think it may unbalance the game a little bit, just because there's 3 tiers and there's so many options. There's certainly adds a different thing to the equation. I'm just not sure if that's a good thing yet. I was kind of annoyed by it, really. It seems like 99% of people are using the support kill streaks because they're the best. I mean, you don't lose your kill streak when you die, which it doesn't make sense to me. Once again, I'm not trying to go on a rant here, guys. I did a whole commentary on what I thought was good about the game. And I really do think this is a stellar first-person shooter. But, every game has flaws, and those are kind of the flaws that I see so far. I'm looking forward to playing some more and, figuring everything out. But hey, they're not perfect, and we need to talk about it, kind of figure out what's going on. That's about all I got. Brag out.